Welcome everyone to this month's episode of the Authors Forum hosted by the Lamb Global Community. Authors Forum is a place where doubt dies and dreams thrives. And this is a forum of aspiring authors who will be authors, imagine authors, growing authors. And it's a forum. It's a place where we have creative conversations that generate fresh ideas, concept, and insight that can help our book writing and turn it into a reality. So that is what we do. And every month we bring authors that have published book, and we want to give them an opportunity to share their journey. So with me today is Maxwell leadership speaker, coach, trainer, Coach Emmanuel Chukwuma. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And I know you are good.
Okay. We're glad to have you today. So, Coach Emmanuel, can you just introduce yourself to people? Let people get to meet you, please. Just briefly. Yeah.
Okay. Like he said, my name is Emmanuel Chukwuma, and my background is legal. I'm a legal practitioner, but all the same, I have passion in writing because I try to make things aware to people that they don't see.
Wow, that's awesome. So, he's an attorney by profession, like what some people call barrister or lawyer. So, but he has a passion for writing, and also is a Maxwell leadership coach, speaker, and trainer. That's how I got to know him. So, I'll have some question for you for this first half, and the question will be based on your book writing journey, and just to tell us some experience that you went through and what led to this book and all that. So, the first question I would like to ask you is this: what fear stopped you from writing? What fear almost stopped you from writing? And what did you do that helped you to overcome that fear?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you say that you wrote your first book in medical school about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now,
26 years ago. 26
oh
years ago.
wow, okay, that is almost my story. I wrote the first book, I think in 2015, which is Eat Well, Act Well, and Think Well. And after
Hmm.
that, I never wrote another book. Now the
Hmm.
question is why. Some might say it's out of fear. Some might say it's time constraint. Some might say I have many other the reasons. But for me, at that time, I felt I had so many things to do.
Hmm.
But each time I'm somewhere, there's always a nudge in me that tells me you need to put something out there.
Hmm.
Now, funny enough, in any gathering or even if I'm watching a movie, I have a pen and paper that I write down a new topic.
Hmm.
So over the years, I have almost 20 topics that I have written that I want to write. But
That's
the
a lot
thing
of
is,
topic.
I never put it out there.
Oh.
And now the temptation is you might not even know why.
Hmm.
But I believe in there's always a time, a set time that when there is a punch that comes to your face, boom,
Hmm.
this is time.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it happened to me in one of the mentorship program we had last year,
Okay.
Maxwell. And I said to
Hmm.
myself, what are you doing?
Hmm.
The passion now came
Hmm.
back
Wow. Wow. What
because
what year what year was that?
that was the last year.
Last year. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So I came back from the August John Maxwell
Yeah.
meeting
International
in
Maxwell yeah, leadership
yes
conference.
in Florida. Then I asked myself a question: what is wrong with you?
Hmm.
I know for a fact that my passion right from time has been to put smile on people's faces. Now, how do I need to do that?
Yeah.
I like to create awareness because I see myself and I see that writers are supposed to be people that see things beyond.
Yeah.
Because a wise man once says, the eyes that look is common, but the eyes that sees are
Yeah.
very rare.
I feel. Yeah.
So writers are supposed to be the people that see beyond the surface, to see the mental and spiritual undertone of every situation. And
Yeah.
I told myself, this I have.
Mm.
Now, that was how
So
now.
that's how you are able to overcome that fear when you are in a community of other great growth-minded people learning together, and that's where the inspiration came. That's awesome. Now
Absolutely.
tell us, how many books have you written so far?
Now I have written 2 books,
Okay.
which is The
Wow.
Hidden Rules of the Workplace.
Wow. How many pages? That looks like a
That's
that looks like
about
an encyclopedia. How many pages is that?
that's about 324
Wow,
pages
that's a lot of pages.
because it has a lot. It embraces almost all sectors.
If you put all my books together, I'm just kidding. I have my highest book is 150 pages. Go ahead, go ahead. That's a lot of pages. Okay, we are listening to you. You oh, it just froze. Wow, 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 wow. I think the internet was scared. I think the internet got scared with the number of pages, and the internet froze. Okay, now, you see, what I want everybody to know is this. Before it comes up, let me just do this. I want everybody to get something very clear. The bottom line is this: there is something about having the confidence that whatever you're saying right now, I just want everybody to know that it is possible. You can do it. I don't want anybody to feel intimidated that, oh, I can't do this. This is only for some people. No, this is not only for some people. This is for everyone. And this is for anyone that choose to really make the most of their writing adventure. So I don't want it to be intimidated by anything that you see. I want to be inspired by it. Yeah. Okay. Coach Emmanuel, I was just making when you froze. I said the internet was scared by the number of pages.
Now, this is
Okay. Is it the second one or the first one?
the second one, The Undoing
The
of the
second one.
Adult Mind.
Okay, that's the second one.
This,
Okay.
this I call my baby because
Okay. So
I see
when did you release this one?
this just came out on Amazon few days ago.
Few days ago. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome. So how many
And
pages this?
this is about 220.
Well, I'm not surprised. Lawyers, they write, they talk a lot, so they write a lot. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
So now that we've seen what you've done, so can you tell us what are you've talked about how you were able, through the passion you were able to overcome the fear. We are focusing on awareness factor. Can you tell us how were you able to leverage the awareness factor? Because we always allow authors to choose one factor that plays a dominant role in their book writing experience. So you have chosen awareness factor. Can you share with us how the awareness factor has helped you to leverage your book writing?
Okay. Now, like I said earlier, I have a passion to put smile on people's faces. Now,
Mm,
the question I ask myself, if I had a cure to cancer, am I going to
mm,
keep it to myself
mm,
or to share it? Now,
mm,
that's one of the reasons the topics I write on are the things I see that resonate with people every day.
mm,
The the hidden rules of the workplace is something that came out from I was I was contracting in a bank,
Mm.
and I see few people struggle every day, and I became
Mm.
like a mentor every day to several people, even to top
Mm.
managers.
Mm.
And I told myself, no, something is missing here.
Yeah.
Now, the undoing of the adult mind is a problem that we see every day at
Mm.
home, workplaces, in the society.
Mm.
Now, Dr. Michael, you're writing a book. The chapter 3 of my book, of the undoing of the mind, is about comparison.
Mm.
Now, comparison, I wrote in that book, is a thief of the self.
Mm.
It creeps in trying to make you look as if you are being motivated or you are doing a healthy comparison. But
Mm.
indirectly, what it does is it steals your authenticity, who you are.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So, like I said earlier, the eyes that look are very common, but the eyes that see
I feel.
are very few. Now,
Yeah.
writers are supposed to be same like entrepreneurs. Now,
Mm.
an entrepreneur, the real meaning for me is one who can jump off the cliff and
Mm.
try to couple an aeroplane on his way
Mm.
down.
Wow. Wow.
Now, you walk into a train station, the eyes that look see people moving up and down with the boxes trying to travel.
Mm.
But a writer see beyond, he see the grief beyond those goodbyes.
Mm.
He sees the hope for one who is going to start a new beginning.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is to awaken the awareness in people to see the undertone of what is going on.
Mm. Mm.
And that is
Mm.
where the awareness factor comes in.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
like to leave readers to wonder and get enlightened. So
Mm.
that's why in all my books, I give you what the problem is,
Mm.
give you real life stories of those that
Mm.
have been there and what they did to get out of it,
Mm.
and give you what you need to do and steps to take for you to come out strong.
Mm. Wow.
No man goes through a
Mm.
storm
Wow.
and comes
Wow,
out the
that's
same.
awesome. So I mean, I really appreciate the context because context define content. Because we need to bring content and context together and to really understand. So the point I want to emphasize to the live audience and the people that are still gonna listen to us and watch us is this. The opposite of awareness is ignorance. So and the I can see the picture you are painting right now that you are maybe like you go to a train station and as an author you need to see more and see before. So you need to be there's a perspective that an author has. An author is always looking for materials, and the good news is everywhere there's material, so you just have to be aware. you know and
Absolutely.
let me share this story to give context to what you are saying, because what you are saying is so deep. There was this news reporter that was sent to cover a football game, and by the owner of the news of the owner of the television station. So this news reporter now went, so he now came back. So the owner of the station now said, where is the report of the game that we asked you to get? He said there was no game today. He said, why? Why is there no game today? He said he said there's nothing to write about it. He said there was no game today. He said, why? He said the whole stadium collapsed. And the woman said, that was a news on its own. So this man, so naive, he was there to report a game. And as a journalist, if the game did not happen, I mean, because of there was a stadium collapse. I mean, that story is even more than the game. so so he didn't bring any story back. So is just to tell us that as authors, you are always more aware of things that others are not paying attention to. That's why it
Absolutely.
says the eyes that, in fact, it was Miles Morrow that actually said that the eyes that sees in that looks are many, but the eyes, that looks are many, but the eyes that sees are few. So, and this is the what awareness is all about. So, and as a would-be author, as an aspiring author, you need to be aware. Anywhere you go, you need to be more self-aware of your environment. There's so many opportunity for materials that can make a very good book. And
Absolutely.
and Coach Man, I really love that analogy. That was beautiful. So the next question I want to have for you right now is this. Um, One thing I've seen that has hindered many authors from writing book, even when they become aware and all that, there's this thing called I call it two piece. If I actually did 8 pitfalls, so I just want to identify the top two top piece. One of them is they are twins. One of them is perfection, and the second one is procrastination. I've seen a lot of people that I know they have the ability to write a book, but they keep on waiting for everything to be perfect. They believe that they don't have what it takes to publish, that no, this is not good enough and all that. And then at the other side, there's this procrastination that, oh, maybe next year, maybe in 2 years' time and all that. So did you ever, how did you deal with these twins? I call them killer twins. How are you able
Is
to deal with them?
is a this is what comes with so many writers,
Hmm.
and got so kind. I've gone through it, and
Hmm.
I can tell you the best way to deal with it is just keep it simple.
Hmm.
If you tell yourself and convince yourself, although it might sound easy, but not that easy,
Yeah.
let me put up a bad book. So
Say it again.
practical.
Say it again.
Let me put up a bad, just write a bad book.
A bad book?
Yeah, write write something that is not nice. That way, you convince yourself you are not trying to write a fantastic book. Keep it simple and get it out there. Now, the first book I wrote was not that fantastic. The structure, everything there is. When I look at it now, it got to a point I had to pull it down from Amazon, not trying to do a new edition. Why? Let's say you can never be as good as you are now.
Yeah, yeah. That's growth. You've
Absolutely
grown. The book has not
impossible.
grown. Yeah,
You
yeah.
see, so when you put it out there, now the motivation will come from somewhere. Someone get me a review on Amazon and said, wow, this is wonderful. And I asked myself, what is wonderful? Because I have gone through more trainings and now see there are some things I had to do.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I'll tell you one story. A man once wrote a book, How to Walk a Dog. Now,
Mm,
some people will say, how dumb can that topic be? But he made over 1 million copies. Copies he sold. So my mentor used to say, there is no dumb idea and there
yeah.
is no bad book.
Mm,
So all you need to do is just put it out there.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
only learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Perfection. Even even the old Hebrew text, which are so adore so much, the Bible says there's no perfection in mankind. So how do you want to be perfect?
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it
I
is
think
it
yeah.
is an illusion,
Mm,
like they say that the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, rather illusion of knowledge.
yeah. The assumption that you already got it. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And this is really very, like I said, I talked to people that are working on book, and I realized, like I said, in fact, I did a master class on this. It's available for people that want it. It's one of the free resource that we share. This perfection syndrome, and I tell people, just release that book. When you release that book, as long as you live, there's an opportunity for 2.2. There's a book I wrote 3 years ago. I was like, wow, did I actually wrote this? Because I've grown. The book has not grown. But at that time, that was where it was. So, but the good news is when you write a book, you keep growing. The book has stopped
Absolutely.
growing. But the good news is you can revise the book and you can write 2.2. That's why we have 2.2. In fact, my second book, my first two books, I've written the 2.2.
See?
My first book that I wrote in the year 2000, Understanding Medical School. So when I write that book, it was just like a pamphlet, something like a pamphlet. I still have it right here. I mean, like this. I mean, it was just like a booklet, but then it was super. So, but 24 years after, I was able to write the same book, and I collaborate with 9 medical students that just had distinction in their first professional exam. So that one came out. This is the 2.0. But what I want to say is that between that 24 years, a lot of growth. In fact, I have to rewrite it because my mindset has changed, my exposure has changed. And the second one, there's another one, and this one came out in 2023, 2003, and understanding your gift. But 21 years after, I came up with a 2.0, and that one came out here. So the reason why I'm sharing this with somebody is this: I don't want you to be intimidated by all this perfection syndrome and procrastination. You can put out what you have at the moment. And after that, listen to me, years after, you can improve it. Dr. John Maxwell did that. The book he wrote on the developing the leader within you, and he came up with the 2.0 after many years. And the other one, developing the leader around you. In fact, by the time he did the 2.0, he called it the leader's greatest return. So there's a room for, since it's your material, you can take it to another level, improve on it, and it's allowed as long as you change 15% of the content. So, and Coach Emmanuel, I still have a lot of questions for you, but I will ask one question before I open up the live audience. What accountability system helped you to finish your 2 books? And what accountability system did you put in place? And because we believe that accountability also play a role when you are writing your book. Who are the people that are holding you accountable, reminding you about the books and all that? Do you have something like that? And we just want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Now, mine is kind of how will I put it? It's something I did for myself. Now, I sent out some informations
Okay.
to some mentors and some friends, and I
Mm.
gave them a timeline and the topics
Okay.
of the book that I want to yeah, put out there, and I
Okay.
told them the time is coming out. So they keep asking me,
Mm.
at what stage are you?
Mm.
Where are you at now? But
Mm.
each time that question comes, someone send me a
Mm.
text. So each time the question comes, it reminds me that I need to go to work.
Mm.
So sometimes I will scribble something, then go through it. I'll go
Yep.
back again. But I was so passionate to make sure that the time, even the first one, I delayed on the time because I wanted to be, I wanted it to be a little bit so tight. Then I
Mm.
had to call all of them and said, I have a delay of 2 weeks. You see, and that was not comfortable with me though. But
Yeah.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so
But that
even with
structure
it,
really help you to keep to time,
absolutely,
to not to just let the dream dies and all that. Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
each time, and one of the greatest things that helped me is I kept discussing the topic anywhere I go.
That's good. Yeah.
And people started, wow, wow, wow. So the urge to make sure that this comes out inside of me, the fire burns in you and not to any other person. And you
Wow.
know that this need to be out.
Wow. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to open up the queue for the people online to before that, there's something we shared in the last minute meeting. I talk about 5 P's that distinguish a dreamer from a doer. So the first P is problem. You know, if you want to be a doer, you must know that your book it's all about solving a problem. That's why we write book. We don't write book to be an author. We write book to solve problem. That's what you see. And Coach Emmanuel was talking about those 2 books. They solved 2 different problems. For instance, I'm working on a new book now called The New Competition and how to gain freedom from the prison of comparison. So I want to solve the problem of comparison. So your book must solve a problem. Number 2, your book must have a target. You must have a target. A target means there's a people that you want to reach with that book. A book is for everyone, is for no one. You must ask yourself, who is this book for? Like Dr. Lisa, for example, and she's been a host on this program. She did a journal for dream women, for women professionals, women professionals. That's what the journal was made for. So your book must have a target. You must have a target audience. The people you have in mind. Is it youth? Is it for adults? And we have one of our guests that has been here before, Amy. Amy's target was because the book she wrote was based on her husband. They have 10 children, and the husband died. She said at that time, when she needed the book, she didn't have a book like that. So she has to write a book for somebody that is going through. The husband was going through a lot of health challenges before he died. So it was a very challenging period for her. So she has to write a book for somebody going through that kind of experience. I know somebody that just came out with a book. The son died. The son was playing football in Maryland, and he had concussion and he died. So he just wrote a book for people that are going through that just lose that their son died, their children died, that how they can handle that. So your book must have a target. The third thing is your book must have a process, a framework. Every book requires a framework. There must be a process that people can easily adapt and follow. And the fourth thing we talk about is you must have a plan to monetize that book. There must be a plan for monetization. And if you want to get all these things, go and check. Go to Dr. Michael Koku's YouTube channel and check the past authors forum that we did. And in the month, I think we did that in the month of May. And in the month of May, that's when we deal with all this. And the last one is there must be a platform to market your book. So those are the things that we've done. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you get all this. So now the floor is open. If you want to ask Coach Emmanuel question, you have the privilege of being here as a live audience. You can just put your reaction button on. You can raise your hand, and we can unmute you. And if you want to put your video on, it's okay. We'll spotlight you to join us. If you have a question for Coach Emmanuel, yes, yeah, please feel free. This is the time. You have the privilege to ask. Yes, Coach Sandra. Coach Sandra, she's not only just a Maxwell leadership coach, she's also a Forbes coach. She's also a CPA and the CEO of Beyond Numbers. Okay,
Thank
Coach
you,
Sandra, now that
Doctor.
I've done a powerful
Dr. Mike, thank you, sir. Thank you. It's an
Okay,
honor, sir. Thank you.
ask your
Um,
question.
Coach Emmanuel, thank you so much, sir, for this. This has been an inspiration. First, because I have seen you, I met you at the Maxwell Leadership Conference. I'm very international conference. I'm excited to see all this work you're doing. It's really amazing. You said something which I just want to highlight. You said, I want to write a bad book. Or maybe he didn't put it in that phrase, right?
Yeah,
So because I've not even seen it like that. It means that there's nothing stopping you. Oh yeah, write the bad one. It's bad. Yeah, write that bad one. Write the bad one. So which is amazing when when you have a different perspective of thinking that pushes one forward. So me, I am going home with that one tonight. Today I'm going home with that. Okay, the bad book, write it because, like you said, you have 20 topic. I think I will have that same number or more than that number. Topics will just come, but to write
absolutely.
it, I'm like, so now I'm going to be writing a lot of bad books right now. So thank you so much, sir. And I'm also inspired by your diligence. Like those books you wrote are really heavy.
Yeah.
Ah, they are heavy. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Wow,
you, sir.
Thank
wow.
you,
Thank you
thank
for
you, thank
bringing
you.
it
They are,
out.
they are so heavy that they scare the internet. The
Ah,
internet knows.
thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Coach Sandra. Well, to be really, when we talk about bad book, I want people to get the context of what we are saying. Some is something that at times people just diminish themselves by saying, "Oh, this is not good enough." Bring it out. Listen to
Absolutely.
me. That is what we are talking about. So he just used the word bad book because it looks bad to you because you believe it's not good enough. But watch this. The market is full of so many books like that. So yeah, Costaja, do you still have something on your mind?
Yes, I just want to add something and to encourage
Yeah,
everyone,
okay.
including myself. And I
Yeah.
think some people here are also people of faith. Recently, last month, I had like a vision, and in there, I was like in a meeting, and I saw someone. The person was carrying a book, and that book had the title of what I wanted to write, and I'm like, this book is
Hmm.
in your hand. I want to. This is something I want to do. And
Hmm.
that division did not leave me. It was almost like I want to do. I'm like, are you sure? Should I do this? Should I not do it? I'm not an expert in it. But now just hearing that word, like it means it's not perfect, right?
Yeah.
Go and write it. So
Yeah.
that word has really encouraged because I'm like, I'm not qualified to write on this type of topic. I don't have the degree and qualification. But this statement that you said, it's a bad book, right? Go and write it as really like
Yeah.
solidified what I really need to do. And, also I want to say thank you, Dr. Michael, for this conference. The last conference you did, there was one word I took away with. The man said, I did 100 videos and I did not stop
Yeah.
until I
Yeah.
got to the 100. That's the only thing. I don't know what any other person said. You see, that statement is my own mission that my videos that I'm doing, it has to get to 100. Now I'm
Hmm.
here again. I'm hearing the word bad book continue. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Now,
Yeah.
can I
You're
say
welcome.
something? Can I say
Okay.
something? Now,
Yeah.
Sandra, um, I'm happy you shared about your vision. Now, forget about what I said about that book. God has shown you exactly what you need to do,
Hmm.
but you didn't understand the message. Probably you're waiting to hear his voice to say, "Oh, Sandra, Sandra, come on, start writing." The vision has been given to you already. You
Yeah.
saw someone with a book and you're asking yourself the same topic. That is not a coincidence.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
real.
Yeah. Yeah.
God speak to us, but the thing is, we need to make
Hmm.
sure that our spiritual antenna is
Hmm.
active all the time to pick it
Hmm.
up.
That's part of the awareness.
Exactly. Because awareness is an internal alarm that
Hmm.
says
Hmm.
something is wrong here
Hmm.
that people
Wow.
are
Wow.
trying to ignore.
Yeah. Okay, Coach Ibano, I have another question for you while we are waiting for people to ask. Oh, yes, Miss Latoya. Yes, your question.
Hello, everyone. Thank
Okay.
Mr. Emmanuel for sharing your journey. Um, my, you talked about the awareness factor and leveraging that. And in your book about the workplace, you talked about giving readers enlightenment and writing stories that are relatable and finding solutions. So you're being aware of the problems that exist and writing to solve those problems. As someone who writes a lot of poems, and I'm interested in writing a poetry book, my question is, how would that principle of the awareness factor apply to a poetry book? How would you define that? Because as I think about it, when I'm writing my poems, I'm not necessarily writing to solve a problem. And so I want to understand how can I leverage the awareness factor towards this genre of writing? Thank you.
Wow, that's a good question.
This is a wonderful question. Now, you might think that you are writing poems not to solve a problem. And I will tell you right now, that's a fallacy. Now, the Harvard Business School, gave a real meaning of a value proposition. Now, what they say, there's a story about the drill that makes hole in a wall. The customers are not buying the drill. You see a drill in a supermarket and you want a hole to be made in your hallway where you have to hang either a picture or a shelf. Now, the mistake we make is that we are actually buying the drill. The drill is the tool. The hole is what the drill is meant for. Now, when the drill made the hole, you hang the shelf in it. Now, the fourth part is the satisfaction that you get when people come in and say, wow, nice shelf. That's where your books are. And that is what you as a customer bought. Sorry. So you might think you are not solving a problem. The satisfaction that whoever that reads your poem gets is the value proposition. And that is what you are giving out to the readers.
Yeah. And I really appreciate you saying that. In fact, I didn't want to jump start. Miss Latoya, did you hear that? Every action, even there's so many poets that have solved problem for humanity. In fact, I have some books I read every day. And the author will get to a point in which the author was trying to explain something. He will now quote a poet.
Absolutely.
Of course, by permission, he will now just write the poetry. And from that poetry, the author is giving more clarity to what the author is talking about. So either you are a poet or every genre of writing is solving a problem. And that is what you need to know. One thing I want everyone to understand here is this. Either you are writing or speaking, you matter. You need to understand that you matter. Your effort, what you are doing is important. At times, we have some people that they envy us. They cannot celebrate us. And we listen to those people. Now, watch this. Your attempt to live your dream is making them mad. And all they are doing is to make you not to live your own dream, because you are either living your dream or living your fears. So, Miss Latoya, you can solve problem with your poetry.
Absolutely.
You just had it now. Yeah. So you just had it from the camel's mouth. Yes, we have Coach Sharon. Coach Sharon is going to be our next guest next month. Coach Sharon, are you giving affirmation, or I thought you want to ask a question? Oh, okay.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank
Hello,
you.
how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you. Well, I just kind of wanted to kind of piggyback on what you all were saying to Miss Latoya. Um, Miss Latoya, you got to think too, who is the enemy trying to stop from getting this information? because what did it do for you? That's what I think about that. Like, what did this book do for me? Did it heal me? Did it release me from something or a poem? What did it do for me?
mm,
It is going to do that and some for the
mm,
reader that it was intended to go to. So when
mm.
we are kind of stuck or debating with,
Yeah.
okay, do we publish this or do we not? Um, those are the kind of things that will go through should go through our mind is
Mm,
who is this trying to if it did this for me, what is it going to do to the reader when it's in
mm,
their hand and then from in their hand, in their mind, into their hearts. And what it did for
mm,
you, it is going to do that plus some. And then they're going to share it with someone else. And so consider
mm,
those things. Thank you.
mm. Wow. Thank you, Coach Isaac. That's a very powerful perspective because, like I said, I heard this from Dr. John Maxwell and Coach Emmanuel. He said something. He said, writing a book is different from speaking.
Absolutely.
He said, anybody can speak. He said, but to write a book, because you are putting something in black and white, it's a different conversation. And that's why, I don't take it lightly when I see somebody that has made an effort to come to the point of publishing a book. It's a lot of work. You understand what I'm saying? It's a if you don't believe what I said, go and work on a book. You will see what I'm talking about. It's a lot of work. So that's why in Authors Forum we celebrate and accomplishment. We do a lot of the book shower here, and people that give birth they do baby shower, but we do book showers. We celebrate new books, and we really appreciate it. So, Coach Emmanuel, I have one question before you go.
Absolutely.
What will you do differently with what you know now in your next book? What do you think you could have done in your previous two books? And what will you do differently in your next book you're going to write?
Now, the next book I think of writing the beautiful the beautiful ape called anger.
Yeah. So what will you do differently?
Now,
We are more
what
interested in
yes,
what you would do differently
yes,
than the
what
title of the book.
yes, what I will do the differently is there's a particular notion everybody thinks about anger. So what I want to bring in that book is bring in a different shade of how beautiful anger is.
Hmm.
We see excitement as a positive thing, but
No, I want to
excitement,
focus on the literal aspect, not the topic of the book. So
uh,
what kind of towards your book writing journey in your two different books? For instance, now I'm writing a new book now. There's some things I'm doing differently now, and that I didn't do in my previous 12 books. And so the question is, what will you do differently? What approach? And is it the same thing that you've always done that you're going to do? What will you do differently? What do you think you should have done in your first two books that based on what you know now that you're going to do differently in your next
okay.
project?
Now on this one, what I'm trying to do is to bring up a little bit of visuals in it.
Okay, visuals. Okay.
Yes, so that it can put more light and shed more light to the text.
Okay.
Rather than just
Just words.
what exactly.
Okay, you
You
want to
know,
use like
yeah,
visuals.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
like what they call illustrations.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
make
okay,
it
okay, that's
see.
beautiful. I mean, we can all relate with that. That was great. In fact, we have somebody that did that, and when I read Coach Sandra's book, she wrote a very beautiful book that I believe every kid should have, every parent should buy for their children. Where did the money go? In fact, I
Okay.
use idea. I'm stealing the idea to write a book where I won't tell you the title of the book, but I'm using that same line of thought. to write one of the book I want to write. But the thing I want to round up with today is, Coach Emmanuel, we want to say thank you for your time. We've learned a lot from you. You have inspired us. You have inspired people that are here live and people that are going to be listening to this Authors Forum video replay. And so the last question I want to ask you before you go is this: what are you going to tell somebody that knows he or she was born to write a book and is still having a cold feet about launching out to write the book? So what would be your advice quickly? That will be the last question.
My advice is very simple. It might be fear, but the question what I want you to ask yourself is, what is fear if not fear? Fear is an illusion. Now, the best way to do it is, we are now captured in the world of what if, what if, what if, what if. What if? So what? So the only thing you have to do is, you start writing a book when you start typing the word. The moment you start typing, the book is written. So go beyond that fear and tell yourself that you can do it. Everybody on earth can tell you you cannot, but as long as you tell yourself you can, it's all over.
That's great. That's great. And I want to conclude by saying the cure to fear is action. Inaction breeds fear. Action kills fear. Inaction breeds fear. Inaction makes fear to multiply. But action is the cure to fear. Yeah.
Can I add one more thing?
Okay.
Is it? I put on so many hats. I was so scared to speak because I'm a stutterer. But I had to overcome that fear when I heard, what is fear if not fear? And I went ahead and spoke in African Union in front of the Prime Minister.
Wow.
The moment I entered that stage, the fear that was
melted.
not there.
Wow.
So until you take that step, the answer is always no until you ask.
Wow, that's a big one. The answer is always no until you ask. Yeah. So, and with that, we want to say thank you to Coach Emmanuel. Thank you so much for your time. You are connecting with us all the way from United Kingdom. And we want to say thank you to every great leaders on this platform. And we're going to be having Coach Sharon. She's going to be our next guest author in the next next month. We're looking forward for that. We want to say thank you for everyone that is right here. Thank you so much. Our next Authors Forum is going to be the month of August, first Wednesday of the month of August. And we'll be having then Coach Sharon, and she will be really sharing with us. She just brought a new book. So we'll be getting into that also. It's going to be great. And I shared it on WhatsApp Authors Forum. Thank you. The video replay will be available in the next few minutes, and it will be shared. Thank you, Coach Emmanuel, once again. And thank you,
so
everyone.
much.
And looking forward to seeing everyone next month, Authors